Hi Dharma Circle, Swati here, the embodied Dharma coach. Let's talk about Ketu transiting Magha Nakshatra for the next 9 months. This is something you need to know about because it's very impactful for all of us. And there's also a collective theme that's really awakening right now. So here are some things you need to know about the next 9 months. First of all, where is Leo in your natal chart? This is very important for understanding the part of your life and the part of your body that is going to be impacted the most by this transit. Ketu is the tail of the serpent, a mathematical point that brings shadow to your moon, your lunar intelligence, your intuition, your luminosity. This moon intelligence that you have because of your natal moon, this lunar intelligence is impacted by Rahu and Ketu, the shadow nodes, north node, south node, or head of the serpent, tail of the serpent. Rahu and Ketu have everything to do with your liberation in this body and in this life. And in fact, Rahu and Ketu have everything to do with your Dharmic path as well. If you want to have clarity for why am I here, what is my sole purpose, you must understand Rahu and Ketu and how they are impacting you in your natal chart. This is a transit, so we're all being impacted by the effect of Rahu and Ketu. Rahu is transiting Aquarius, Ketu is transiting Leo. These transits last 18 months, a year and a half, and we're moving into the final portion of this 18-month Rahu-Ketu transit. Ketu has just entered Magha Nakshatra. This is considered a Gandanta, a junction point between Leo and Cancer. So water sign Cancer, fire sign Leo. These junction points in the chart, in the zodiac, are very delicate. Moving from water to fire, or in this case, because Rahu and Ketu move backwards in the sky, they move in opposition to the other planets. Ketu is moving from fire, Leo, and will move into Cancer, water, as of December 5th of this year. So as Ketu enters Magha Nakshatra, the Gandanta starts to open. And as Ketu moves closer and closer to the edge of Leo, this junction point, this Gandanta, will begin to open even more. So we'll watch for those degrees as the year progresses and Ketu moves closer to the edge. That will be later this year. So Ketu is in Magha Nakshatra until December 5th. This gives you 9 months to work with this very important information that Magha Nakshatra is bringing to you. Personally, this junction point will trigger ancestral karma, particularly karma with the father and the father's lineage, your father's ancestry. And this is about the masculine, it's about power, it is about the inner power and your commitment to your dharmic path. Pitra is the ruling deity of this constellation. Pitru-Paksh, we celebrate this later in the year in the Vedic calendar as we move into fall Navratri. This portion of the calendar is, and when we're working with the Vedic calendar, this is about nature and the laws of nature. This fall time, this is when the ancestors enliven and awaken, and Pitru-Paksh is about honoring the ancestors during the sacred gap season. Right now, it's almost like we're in 9 months of Pitru-Paksh. 9 months of honoring Pitr, this deity, this god of the ancestors. This is a very important junction point for your dharmic path and your dharmic work. Traditionally, the seed of Dharma is planted by the father and the father's lineage. And it's the mother and the mother's lineage that nourishes or nurtures the Dharma. So will the dharmic path be fulfilled? Will there be enough nourishment for your dharmic path? That you look to the mother, the moon, and the mother's lineage to understand. But the father, son, and the father's lineage plant the seeds of Dharma, and that determines if the soul has a sense of dharmic connection. And in the sign of Leo, we see that father, that masculine, and the father's lineage really come alive. This is connected to the 5th house, which is a dharmic house. It also is the house of the solar plexus, which is your intuition. It is the place of power, the seat of power in your physical body. So this 5th house father theme is very alive, and it has to do with trusting your gut and stepping into your power and being empowered on your path, living your purpose. So you'll be noticing, first of all, that Ketu is asking you to cut attachments, cut away any excess, cut away anything that's not in alignment with your true dharmic purpose. There will be challenges with the masculine. There'll be challenges with father. There'll be challenges with your own power and your sense of empowerment, trusting your gut, trusting your inner knowing versus the outer authority. So watch for those themes. There will be sudden losses with the masculine and power and father. Many people will be transitioning into the ancestral realms during this time. There are endings, there are sudden losses that will come in this cycle. Ketu does everything suddenly, without warning. It's abrupt, it's shocking. This is how he works. This is his medicine. Detach. Literally, Ketu is the moksha planet. So he wants your liberation, and he will do it at all costs. There's no concern for your emotion or well-being when it comes to Ketu. And remember, this is your trauma work. This is about tending to the losses, the forced attachment, and ultimately supporting you in your wholeness. But, as humans, that requires trauma work. So this cycle will inevitably require that you do trauma work and tend to the losses. This is also your ancestral work. You will be required to do your ancestral work at this time. The ancestors will be getting louder. They will be asking for your attention. They will not take no for an answer. And you need to show up and pay attention and listen to what they are requesting. And understand that this is part of your dharmic path and your dharmic work. The ancestors give you your dharma. So there is no dharma without the ancestors. Now is the time to show up, pay attention, and honor their requests. Honor their requests. They are only going to get louder, and it's only going to get harder and more painful if you don't pay attention. On the collective level, this is the time where the patriarchy is collapsing, deconstructing the masculine, deconstructing patriarchy, misogyny, colonization, and of course, capitalism are part of the theme in this deconstruction and this moksha process that Ketu is requiring of us. So we'll see leaders fall. We will see leaders killed. We will see the authority figure ultimately die in this process over the next 9 months. And this is necessary for the restructuring that is coming. But we have to be willing to deconstruct first. There's always destruction before the creation process can occur. Understand that this is also a request to do your own deconstruction of your inner patriarchy, your inner misogyny, the internalized systems and structures around the masculine, around patriarchy, authority, and the imbalances that you're living, that you're embodying, the choices that you're making that are not in right relationship with your divine feminine. There has to be balance. And because there's so much imbalance on this planet for all of us, we've been conditioned and indoctrinated into this imbalance between the masculine and the feminine. Understand that this is the time to do this work, that you're being asked to deepen your own work around patriarchy, misogyny, the internalized, unconscious parts of yourself that are still putting the outer authority on the pedestal, the masculine on the pedestal. This is a time for this to literally die. And Ketu loves to support the death process and the killing of anything that is not in right relationship with natural law. And ultimately, anything that is not in right relationship with your true dharmic purpose and your own wholeness, your own dharma. Dharma is wholeness, ultimately. So look for these places where you're being asked to move closer to balance, and where you're being asked or even forced to dismantle and deconstruct the masculine. This will be a very difficult 9 months for all men, all fathers, and any men in authority figure type positions. This is going to be a challenging time. As women, our job is to do this work internally, to understand where the internal patriarchy and misogyny is impacting us and our dharmic paths. So that work, we have plenty of work to do. That work is what women need to be focusing on over the next 9 months. Ancestral work is where it's at. Do your ancestral work. Feed your ancestors. Call on them for support and guidance. Ask them for help, for clarity. Ask them what they need. Show up. Be present. Slow down. Listen carefully. Spend more time with body and nature so that you can actually hear the messages and the wisdom coming to you. When you move too fast, when your life is too busy, when you have too full of a life and you don't allow for the pause and the check, you'll miss the messages. Slow and steady. And there are many reasons why this month, slow and steady, is ultimately required. Understand that on April 14th, when the sun goes exalted, these themes are going to intensify with the masculine, with all things sun, with Leo. Sun rules Leo and is considered Mula Trikona here. So as the sun strengthens, so do the themes of all things sun. Sun is father, masculine, power, authority. Pay attention. So April brings a big wave of do your work around patriarchy, misogyny, and also pay attention to your ancestors. If you want ancestral support and guidance, if you're still not clear on your dharmic path and you're not feeling connected to your lineage, your ancestors, maybe you don't even know how to do your ancestral work, then come join us in the Dharma Village. This is where you get monthly resources, tools, and support, as well as the wisdom of your Jyotish chart to support you in embodying your Dharmic gifts, clarifying your Dharmic path, and building a relationship with your body, your inner wisdom, and also your ancestral guidance and support. Come join us in the Dharma Village. Our focus this month is the 5th house. It is your power center, your intuition, your inner guidance system. It's also a house of Dharma. It's a house of Father and power. So come strengthen your power and your connection to your own intuition this month in the Dharma Village. I'll be sharing extra resources and tools with you for your ancestral guidance and support if you register by April 9th. So do join us before the 9th so you can get some extra ancestral guidance and support. Comment village below if you want the details, and I'll send you the link. All right. Father, moksha, ancestral work, deconstructing the internal masculine, and noticing where you are not in right relationship with your own power and purpose. It's going to hit big this month, and I'm hoping that this gives you some clarity and some preparation for the cycle ahead. This is a very powerful time. Don't waste this time. This is so important for you and your lineage, and your ancestors want this. That's why they brought you here. That's why they invited you to join Earth and the lineage at this time. They want this work done, and you are the one to do it. So stay awake, stay connected, stay embodied, and use Vedic astrology in the way that supports your transformation and healing. So come join us in the Dharma Village for more embodied Vedic astrology guidance and support. I'll see you there. Comment village for more.